You know the feeling of a conversation turning into an argument before the first sentence is even finished? It's that familiar tightness in the chest, or the sinking dread of a burnout you can sense coming from weeks away. When we experience these repeating patterns of pain, we often interpret them as a verdict. We tell ourselves, nothing ever changes, or this is just how it ends, treating the future as a sentence that has already been handed down. Our brains are essentially high-speed pattern-matching machines. When a situation feels familiar, the nervous system retrieves an emotional response from the past and applies it to the present before we've even had a chance to think. This creates the illusion of a fixed script. We feel trapped because our internal prediction engine is stuck on a loop, forecasting the same outcomes based on the same old data. This loop operates in the split-second gap between an event and our reaction to it. It is a biological autopilot that attempts to navigate the future by simply replaying the past. But once we understand the mechanical nature of this loop, the sense of doom loses its authority. We can begin to dismantle the gears of this repetition and treat our lives as a direction we can actually steer. The human brain functions as a creative confabulator. To ensure our survival, it constantly reaches into our memory, gathers fragments of what has happened, and recombines them to simulate what might happen next. This illustrates interoception, the brain's constant scan of our internal physical state. Before you form a conscious thought, your brain is processing a weather report from your organs, hormones, and nervous system to determine how you should feel. This happens alongside neuroception, a lightning-fast unconscious scan of our environment. The nervous system evaluates cues for safety or danger and prepares a physical response long before the conscious mind catches up. Because the brain receives these physical updates first, it works backward to justify them. It looks at a racing heart or a shallow breath and constructs a mental narrative of impending danger to match the physical evidence. When the body feels regulated and safe, that same creative engine produces a story of possibility. We become capable of seeing choices that were invisible when we were in a state of alarm. Ultimately, the truth we believe about our future is largely an interpretation of the physical signals our body is sending in the present moment. Human biology has a profound intolerance for uncertainty. Our brains often find the painful familiarity of a known doom more comfortable than the vulnerability of not knowing what's coming next. This creates a self-fulfilling loop. An old memory creates a braced state, writing a story of failure, triggering actions that ensure the failure happens. This is pattern certainty. The likelihood an outcome repeats if inputs remain the same. It's the predictable result of momentum. The danger lies in confusing this biological alarm with genuine intuition. Alarm is a loud, urgent reflex trying to protect us from the past, whereas intuition is a quiet sense of direction for the present. Our craving to know for sure what happens next is the very mechanism that keeps us feeding the same old timelines. Breaking this cycle requires a shift in perspective. We have to move away from binary thinking, the idea that we are either destined or doomed, and start seeing life as a spectrum of probability. Statistician Nate Silver views probability as a flexible belief system. It's the willingness to say, this is what seems likely based on what I see, while remaining ready to update that belief as new information arrives. Decision strategist Annie Duke frames this as thinking in bets. Instead of chasing the illusion of certainty, we evaluate our own uncertainty and make choices based on the potential futures we actually want to support. The first step in shifting these odds is learning to separate the raw signal, the physical sensation in the body, from the catastrophic story the mind is trying to tell about it. When you feel that familiar dread, you pause the loop by asking, is this a clean intuition, or is it a survival alarm? Am I responding to what is happening now, or reacting to what happened then? This is the practical application of Eckhart Tolle's focus on the present. The now is the only location where a pattern can be interrupted. You cannot change a habit yesterday, and you cannot make a different choice tomorrow. One unscripted choice, like taking a single breath instead of reacting, interrupts the momentum. It changes the conditions of the moment, and by changing those conditions, you shift the likely outcome of the entire situation. This is what Thich Nhat Hanh meant by saying peace is every step. You cannot arrive at a peaceful future by practicing panic today. The quality of your steps right now determines the texture of the life you walk into. Your emotions are a dashboard, not a fortune teller. When you stop treating your internal state as a prophecy, the future stops being a sentence you endure and becomes a direction you navigate.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, The Probability Compass. Living in the now, reading the signs, choosing the future. This isn't theory, it's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.